So this is Karen, and I'm in Mr. Robert Middleton's house, and I met Mr. Middleton about 5 years ago at the Penn Center here in St. Helena. He was a volunteer, and he kind of guards the front door. And I asked him if he could tell us a couple of stories and tell you a little bit about himself. So, I've got this turned around. I'm gonna have to flip it around like that really fast. And let me make sure you're in there, Mr. Middleton. All right? I'm gonna make sure that you might have to sit up. Let's see. Oop, no, I'll have to hold it. Where the heck is it? Oh, my goodness. Well, we can do editing. Where are you? Oh, now it's doing this. There we go. Oh, all right. I got it backwards. The good thing is I can edit it. I can cut out stuff. If you're not happy with stuff, you can cut it out. So, go ahead. Tell us a story or two, Mr. Middleton.
My name is Robert Middleton, which I was born in Philadelphia, 1929, during the Depression. And I was born under wedlock, which back in the early days, my parents and all these folks had a problem with born out of wedlock. First of all, I want to give credit to my adopted parents who saved my life. Because my mother, when I was born, my mother was remarried. I was married and went back home with 2 kids, my brother and my sister. Then she went and got pregnant with me, with my father, and that was a disgrace to the family. So her friend, which is my adopted aunt, took me to my adopted parents from South Philly to West Philly because she didn't want nobody to know that she had another child. So my adopted parents that raised me decided to move back to South Carolina from Philadelphia. So they told my father that they was coming on vacation, but my mother and grandmother knew they wasn't coming back. So I was brought here, and my birth name was John Robert Ford. My adopted parents dropped my first and last name, keep Robert and give me their name, but they didn't even know what year I was born. They don't know what name I was born under. But I was raised up here, and I was glad that I was raised here because during my kid years, I had a trouble with my right side. I had a reflection on my right side and it was weak. And raised up here, my adopted parents had their own farm, had a mom and pop store, and I fished, crab, oyster, and that helped me plow, raise cows, chicken, hogs, everything you raise on the farm. Plant peanuts, corn, tomatoes, sugar cane, rice. We all farmed year round. We were very independent. But growing up in the country and do those things, work on the farm, fishing, that helped me to build my strength up on my right side. I go over here, went to school. My first school was called Lee Rosemore School that I went to for sixth grade. But I was thankful to God that I went to the first black high school on His honor for black folks in the country. Penn Center. I went to Penn Center. And I was class of 48. I didn't graduate, but I went to work because I was young and I had a lot of problems with people. The people that raised me were very loving, very caring. With some of the family, they didn't care none, but they raised me because they said you bring somebody from the city and they had children, they could raise their children. So they give them I thought they hated me, but they was giving them a hard way to go for raising me, but they were very loving. I had lots of food, clothes. Back in the early days, I could go to school every day. So I went back to Philadelphia after I went to the military, 1951 in Korea. 2 years. I came back, went to work to Paris Island, and I decided to go to Philadelphia. And I worked in Philadelphia, and I stayed 2 years in Philadelphia before I met my biological family. I had a dream that my mother And I was talking, dreaming, my mother, the man came to me in my sleep, showed me about my mother and father, described my mother to me and my grandmother. They had a black newspaper which is called the Philadelphia Tribune. I went there and told the manager about what happened, like Washington Roads. And he told me that Robert, somebody after 30 years, 29 years, somebody should know something about what's going on. So he told me to take a picture, bring it back to him, and he would add in the paper. Now, if I knew what name I was born under, I would have been in my father's house the same week I went to Philadelphia, because everybody, my father resembled each other, and everybody would ask me about food. That's what my last name was food that I was born under, but I didn't know it. So I went back later, a couple of weeks later, to the paper to see if the guy found anything. And he told me he had a friend running a bar called Cup. Go around and talk to him and bring some information back to him. I went this Thursday morning, I never forgot it. In September, I went. As soon as I walked in the door, I said, I'm looking for Cup. He said, Robert, how you doing? Still didn't tell me who he was. I still didn't know who he was. So he called me back. Described the old man to me, the old lady to me. Then somebody called and asked, because they thought I was a cop. Somebody ran and asked him, said, who you talking to? He said, that's my son. But I met my family, my grandmother, who gave me, and my mother who gave me, and my mother sit down and told me the problem that she's having back. Remarried, went back with 2 kids. That was a disgrace to the family back in those days. But growing up on this island was very good. I met a lot of people, and I went to I volunteered at Penn Center for 20-some years. And I enjoyed myself. I got 6 kids. I got 7 with 1 died, and I got 6 kids living. Got a good, but I would tell everybody that I was blessed for having 2 families.
And they're all in here, right?
Yeah.
What? Somebody coming in?
They getting ready to go.
What's that?
That's my grand getting ready to go to land.
Oh, let them come in.
These grandma,
Should I tell them to come in? I'll go get them.